Hey everybody, welcome back to GWN. I am Noctaire, your host. If you're new to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button down below. Please pass the word around, let everybody know we're here. And to those of you who are returning visitors, welcome back. Over the last, several months, we've talked about a lot of different strats, whether it's a generic strat like, say, Bombarians, or P.E.K.K.A carts, or minion drops, and so on, or it's a more custom attack strat like some of the ones we saw in the replays from Curtis just the other day. The gambit runs all the way from A to Z on what bases they work against and how to use them. So I wanted to go back to what I think is really the start of a lot of these more customized strats and talk about the Sneaky Archer and the Sneaky Archer second look. Whenever you run Sneaky Archers, the very first thing you want to do is clear out the peripheral buildings around the base. And you do the same thing in most of these fairly customized attacks. And like I said in my earlier video, I really think that's where the custom attack style has come from. It started back in Builder Hall 5 with the Sneaky Archer attacks. And they take a long time because they really are very complex. They're very difficult to plan. Well, I don't want to say very difficult, but they are complex and require a lot of effort to make them work, even though these guys all make them look absolutely, positively effortless. Once you've got those outer buildings cleared out, though, the next step is to pave a pathway into the Builder Hall. And you can pick up some additional points along the way. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of other buildings that are going to come down as you do it. You don't just take out what's surrounding outside and hit the Builder Hall. But you wanna figure out, okay, exactly where can I set my Sneaky Archers or my Beta Minions or my Cannon Carts, whatever the strat calls for, to get them to go in and clear the path to the Builder Hall. And once you've got those last few buildings down, that's when you send in your kill squad, which is often, I think in a lot of these strats, it's Beta Minions, but sometimes people will use a Super P.E.K.K.A or even the Cannon Carts. But once you've got those buildings cleared, you've got the biggest threats out of the way, you send in your kill squad to get the Builder Hall and secure the second star. At that point, any additional troops that you've got left over, they're really just used for picking up percentage points. So you're going to snake a few more buildings around the outside of the hub, if you will, that inner grouping of defenses. Maybe with some Sneaky Archers, because it takes, say, 2 or 3 of them to take down the typical building, or maybe with some Beta Minions. And when you do send in your Beta Minions, just like we see Fid doing here, make sure you spread them out. You've got a lot of splash defenses that you may not be able to get to. They may be 2 squares or more away from the edge, and you can't get anything to take them out. If that's the case, you need to spread your Beta Minions so when the splash damage comes after them, they don't go down along with it. That's the quickest way to end one of these attacks with just a mid to upper percentage 1-star, and you don't want to do that. So, first one here, Beta Minions, Sneaky Archers. Everybody just calls it ArchMin, I think. The next one we've got is one of 2 types. You've got Archers, Minions, and Cannon Carts, which is an AMC. And then you've got Archers, Bombers, and Cannon Carts, which is an ABC. And they're very similar to each other. They follow the same pattern as this one, as we saw here, with clearing the outside and making a path to the Builder Hall. But in each case, they have a slightly different mechanism for doing that. And as you may have noticed, we've got diamond bases here, which is particularly useful because, as we always say, friends don't let friends run box bases, right? Well, most of the bases that I come across are either kind of funkied up, meaning that they don't really have any set symmetrical pattern, or they tend to be diamond bases. The bracket bases out there, it's fairly common, but not nearly as common as the various diamond base designs. And if you've seen one diamond base, you can apply what you learn from it to the way you take down the other bases. Again, standard pattern. Take away the buildings around the outside to give you clear and straightforward pathing for your troops. Clear away the buildings that are protecting the Builder Hall so that you can send in your kill squad without it being taken out. And then send in your kill squad to take down the Builder Hall and use the last few troops that you've got to pick up some additional percentage points. Mango is doing that perfect on this one, on this AMC attack. He's got all the stuff around the outside gone and out of the way. Now he's working on those few buildings that are right around the builder hall and will cause some grief for his minions. Like, for example, that roaster he just took out with some sneaky archers. And a little bit earlier, he took out a firecracker over on the other side near that air bombs. He's taken out that army camp at the top because he doesn't want his beta minions to cluster up. And then he'll work on getting out the last building or two between the top of the base and the builder hall so that he can send in his troops with a unobstructed shot straight into the builder hall. There they go. Beta minions go in for the kill. Spreads them out a little bit because, again, we've got splash damage there. Those air bombs are going to go up and take out a couple of his beta minions. Not a problem because he's got enough to get the job done, and he held a few back just in case he needed to use them if something went wrong. But at this point, it's good. He's got the 2-star. He's running 57%. He'll pick up another 10 or 15% just using a few of his leftover troops at the bottom. My assumption is in this case, he actually took the cannon carts along to pick up that additional percentage, although a lot of players will take them along and then bring them down through the top, allowing the cannon carts to simply bust through the walls because there's no distracting structures to take them anywhere else, and then they'll be the ones to take out the builder hall. 6 one way, half dozen the other. Both ways work great for this attack strategy, and he walks away with a 70% 2-star in a game where if you can get over 65%, you're probably going to win. So, not too bad. And all these replays are over 5,000 trophies. So, we're dealing with max or near max bases all the way around. Your offense is going to be max when you go against any bases, whether you're going from 4,000 to 5,000 to even 6,000 trophies. So, if you carry a max offense into the battle, these strategies are going to work regardless of whether or not the base that you're going against is maxed or even near maxed. So let's say they had some level 7 defenses. It's not a problem. The same concepts are still going to work. Here we see Shaz is doing it with the ABC attack strategy. ABC, you clear out the walls using the bombers. Now what does that do? Opening up the base breaks the pathing that's established by the base designer, as we've discussed before, and allows you to send your troops in more efficiently. You don't have to worry about whether the archer's going to go up, down, left, right, or whatever. You send it in, it's going to go where you want her to go. And that's the purpose of taking along a camp of bombers. Works very, very well. Using that, Shaz is not only able to take down the general peripheral buildings, but also work his way straight in through the top and the sides of the top to take out some additional buildings that are protecting the builder hall. So when he sends in his kill squad, they go in relatively unopposed and are able to take things down very quickly. As you can see, he's got 35% of the base down, and we've only got about a minute and 3/4 left. One of the things that amazes me about these attacks is how long they run, and then it's that last minute, or sometimes even the last 30 seconds, where the attack is actually run. And you saw that in the previous replays. We're going to see that in this one. It is truly an act of patience running one of these attacks from start to finish. It's patience that I have tried very, very hard to develop, and I'm getting better at it, but I got to tell you, it ain't easy. I mean, my hat's definitely off of these guys. I've always hated the archer attacks because I hated how they would run down my clock tower, but now that we're further along in a Builder Hall 8, where, to be quite honest, most attacks take a solid 2 minutes or more anyway, the clock tower is not so much of a factor. It just isn't. I'm more or less accustomed to my attacks running 3 or 4 minutes a pop between both what I do and what my opponent does. So why not take the longer time? Hats off to you guys. Do it. So as I mentioned, you take down the walls, bring in those bombers to get more of the walls out. In goes a cannon cart, takes out another one of the defenses that's in the way, and it gets a little bit onto the builder hall. Boom, down it goes. At this point, everything's gravy. Take out a couple more buildings along the bottom using the cannon carts and the battle machine. Send in a couple more sneaky archers to grab a few of those lower hit point defenses that you can get with maybe just 2 of them, like for example the firecracker that just went down. And you end up walking away with a very solid 70% 2-star and the win for more trophies. So guys, I'm hoping that helps you out as you're working with the sneaky archers, as you're working with your custom attacks. And if you got any questions, drop them down below. Hit me up through email. Always respond. If you don't hear from me, hit me up again because that means that I didn't get it. On that note, I'm heading on out of here. And thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. I know this was a fairly long one. These sneaky archer attacks are, but they're such a treat to watch in the big scheme of things. They really are. Y'all take care and keep on clashing. Bye-bye now.